How do we ensure that we explore all client needs is my topic here. Now, client needs, if you're a mortgage advisor, you're probably just looking at specific needs. If you're a financial advisor, you're probably looking at all needs. Maybe you are holistic, I don't know. Most financial advisors, if truth be told, tend to focus on key areas like investments or pensions. It's where they specialize. But if you're doing an exam, you need to think about holistic financial advice. In other words, looking at all the needs that customers have. So if you're doing CMAP 1 or you're doing DIPFA, you need to focus on that and get away from the real world, I suppose, where everybody specializes. Now, how do you do this? Well, we've come up with a brand new way of sharing this with you, and it's all about washing clothes. Now, when I was a kid, my mum used to obviously wash my clothes, and she used to use a washing powder called Persil. I don't know if you remember Persil. I don't know if it's still around, actually. Probably is. Now, Persil had an advertising gimmick going on, and they used to say that the Persil washes whiter than white. I don't know what that was all about, but it was their advertising jingle, because we all had advertising jingles in the 80s. So I use Persil now to make sure that you look at all the needs that customers have. And you know, Persil washes whiter than white or something like that. So let's take a look at fact finding and take a look at the needs people have using Persil. So let's grab this whiteboard and we'll put Persil up for you. P-E-R-S-I, and I've added an L at the end, which is brand spanking new. And I want you to think about this because it's a new angle, a new need area that I think is going to grow massively. So if you're giving holistic financial advice, then the first and most important need of all clients is protection in the event of death. Protection on death. Now, you can't stop people from dying. You know, that's just not going to happen, is it? But you can put life assurance in place, of course, and it's the most important, underpins all financial planning. So that's the first one. The second one is earnings. In other words, you are protecting their earnings. So you're covering their earnings with income protection or some kind of critical illness. So you're covering their income, effectively, their earnings. So again, those two go hand in hand, and most mortgage advisors get involved in that area because they're mortgage and protection specialists, you see. But then we start getting into the financial advisor world. The R is for retirement planning. So retirement planning, which is all about pensions and all those things that help people to retire. Now, of course, people are getting... I was talking to my son last night. We went down the pub and we were talking about his goals and stuff. You know, he's 26 now. And I said to you, and I said, you'll probably retire at 75, maybe even 80. You know, he's got 50 years of working, but he will think about that because he'll obviously live longer than everybody else because, you know, medical abilities improve things, don't they? So retirement planning is really important. Then we get into investments. So we get savings first of all. So people got to save money, and then of course you do wealth management. You manage their existing investments. So that's about saving the money, and that's about managing investments. Of course, a lot of people inherit their own money. They don't have to save, do they? Lucky people. But that's traditional route for financial advisors. Now the last one, here's the one for you, is long-term care. There you go, long-term care. Now I said to you, and you know, he'll probably retire at 75 and live on well into his 90s. But of course, people do need long-term care because, be like an old car, really. The car doesn't break down so much. Bits just go wrong, don't they? And people need long-term care. You know, they'll be alive, but they may not be, you know, fighting fit. They might need residential care. Maybe people will do. Lots of people do. It's very expensive, and I think the population, as it gets older, more and more people will need that. Now, the point here is that we provide planning to help people to fund their long-term care. So it's long-term care funding. Now, obviously, you can fund it through retirement planning and savings. I get all that, but people tend to look at retirement planning to, you know, replace their income to have a good time. Savings so they can invest the money and pass it on to the children through inheritances and stuff like that. But long-term care funding is something a lot of people probably don't look at. Well, you know, the government will pay for it, but things are changing, and I think planning for that is a key need area moving forward. And a financial advisor can do that. I mean, I'm taking some exams myself this autumn, long-term care exams from the Chartered Insurance Institute. So I'm going to learn a little bit more about that marketplace. I mean, I understand about later life lending and I understand about care fees and all that. But how do we plan for it? What are the issues behind it? So quite interesting, isn't it? So that's a Persil for you, which is how we ensure we explore all clients' needs. Now, as a mortgage advisor, it might not interest you. Obviously, for an exam, it will do. But if you're a mortgage advisor and you're fact finding, don't forget about these needs, because you can make referrals and you can make money from this as well. And you should make referrals because it's the right thing to do. So you could refer to an IFA, for example, if you spot that your client has investment needs, maybe retirement planning needs. Refer on to an IFA, get a little setup going with some local IFAs. You can earn finder's fees as well, some introductory fees for this type of business. A lot of our IFAs are very, very busy anyway, and they probably won't do that, but it's something to think about. You can refer to solicitors and accountants possibly for some aspects around savings and things like that. You can refer to will writers, later life lending will writers and powers of attorney people that create these things for you. So you can certainly refer people, I think, and you can refer to various professionals for a fee. I think is the key one, because that's the way the world works. So that's Persil. Hope you find it useful.